It's alright.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy here with another Borderlands 3 video, and today I have something really special to share with you guys. This is really crazy, and I, as someone who has put out a lot of builds for AMARA, this is going to be something that we can use to improve every single build that I've made on AMARA and give us way more damage without any better gear, without having to farm for anything. Just a simple skill change that'll increase our damage dramatically. Really crazy. Now, I am not someone who is ashamed of if they make a mistake. If I find out something, I try to let you guys know. If I make a mistake on a build, I let you guys know. Now, some of you will like this change, some of you will not. Today, we're going to be particularly talking about my most powerful build, most efficient build, Ricochet Witch. It is a build that steamrolls any content in the game right now, and a personal favorite of mine. Now, with Ricochet Witch, I'm updating the skill tree, and I'm telling you guys why to do this. You don't have to if you don't. Ricochet Witch doesn't need that much more damage. Death Star AMARA doesn't need that much more damage. You know, like, the builds work really well, but as a person who lives and breathes damage, I had to make this change to my builds, and it is going to blow your mind how much more damage we can do with this. And with that, let's get right into it, and that is the skill Conflux. Conflux is a skill that I have never spec'd into any of my builds before, and it is a really crappy skill. If you guys didn't know, if you haven't heard me talk about this on stream, I drop a lot of knowledge on stream. If you haven't caught me on stream yet, make sure to check me out. We have a lot of fun over there. But Conflux is a dookie skill because it applies a random status effect to an enemy, or has a chance to apply a random status effect to an enemy whenever we apply a status effect to them to create another random status effect, right? Now, that damage is unboostable. The points into Anima, you cannot increase the dot damage of Conflux. The points into Tempest doesn't increase the damage that a Conflux dot does. It is a set amount of damage. It's about 400 damage, or 400 dot on weakness. So like a fire dot on a flesh enemy is about 400 dot, and against things that it's not strong against, for example fire on armor, it's about a 100 to 200 dot. When we're using guns like the Recursion that's doing like 4,000 damage per second with its dot, that is additionally getting boosted by things like Anima, that tiny dot means nothing to us. So then why am I now putting 5 out of 5 into Conflux on my builds? And that is because of the interaction that it has with the spiritual driver. Now, the spiritual driver, whenever we use our action skill, we apply her action skill element to herself. We are basically dotting ourself. Now, if we're using an elemental projector, the elemental effect that we are suffering from, we do bonus damage with. This application of our action skill element to ourself counts as a status effect. Conflux is going to give us a chance to apply a random other status effect to ourself, and with multiple status effects on ourself, we get more damage with our elemental projector. The elemental projector doesn't take into account just one element that we're suffering. It takes into account every single element that we're dotted by. So let me show you guys this. When I use my action skill, now I have a shock dot and a fire dot on myself, right? Just by using my action skill element is shock. So I should only get shock, but because we're spec'd into Conflicts, I now have a fire dot on me. I'm going to stand still, shoot this person from the exact same spot with the fire dot and without the fire dot, and show you guys the difference in the damage. Also pay attention to our electric damage. So our electric damage was about 36k, and our fire damage was 26k. Alright, we just have a shock dot now. Now we're hitting for 15k with the fire damage, the exact same amount with the shock damage, but we've lost over 10k damage on our fire shot. Now, this is huge because we can proc all 3 elements on ourselves and get a 90% bonus damage increase with every element that we're impacted by. So now we have all 3. We're gonna shoot him. Corrosive damage is up. Our shock damage is the same because we're always applying shock to ourselves, and our fire damage is back up. This is an amazing way to do a lot of damage, more damage than we were doing before, and also not really care at what we're shooting at because we're going to be doing a ton of damage with all 3 elements. Now, you may be asking, why don't we use cryo? Why don't we use radiation? Well, this conflux dot can only do fire, shock, and corrosive. So now in my setups, when I'm on my weapons and on my shield and on my grenade, I am going to be using fire, shock, and corrosive so that I always get bonus damage with these elements. So on my transformer, I have corrosive. On my grenade, I have incendiary. And for the most part, I'm going to be shooting with shock. Try to use shock recursion because we're talking about the Ricochet Witch build right now. And this is going to allow me to cruise through the content. Now, Moxsy, with the amount of damage that Ricochet Witch is doing, did you really notice a difference? I did. I mean, you're basically killing everything, but on the Valkyries, we one-shot them, each and every one, when I ran through this, and it felt to me like we were doing more damage because we are doing more damage. Now, for things like the Valkyries and the Wotan fight, to be honest with you guys, I would probably take off the incendiary damage to do something like radiation for more shields or bonus shock with the corrosive, because you don't really need fire damage versus Wotan, you don't really need fire damage versus the Valkyries, but for the mobbing portions of it, it is really nice to have, and we're gonna breeze through everything. Now, this change can be used on any build that's using a spiritual driver, and any build that uses the elemental projector. These 2 combined will really benefit from conflicts. Now, if you guys are making builds of your own and you're not using Ricochet Witch, this is a really cool tactic to implement into your builds to just give you more damage. If you want to make a build that's doing every elemental type of damage, you could use a sellout with infusion, different elements on your shield and grenade, and then shoot yourself with a sellout and get all of those elements on yourself, and then shoot at enemies, doing bonus damage with every single element. The possibilities are there, and it's a really cool tactic. Some of you may like this, some of you may not. When you have all 3 dots on you, the noise is kind of obnoxious, so some of you will like that, some of you won't mind, but I just wanted to show this off because it's a new way of doing more damage, and it's really cool and really clever. I've had a lot of fun playing around with this. So the update to the Ricochet Witch build, because we're putting points into conflux, is I'm putting points into sustainment, but only 2 points. 2 points is really, you're doing so much damage that this is gonna full heal you, so 2 points is fine. If you don't like this, just use the normal old Ricochet Witch build. It's still, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, there's nothing wrong with the Ricochet Witch build. I just wanted to show you guys this interaction if you want to try it out and implement it into your builds, implement it into Ricochet Witch. So I'm putting 2 points into sustainment, 5 points into conflux, 2 points into fast hands for that reload speed, that weapon swap speed, and the mode swap speed. All really nice things to have. And then we're 3 into personal space, 2 root to rise. We're still doing arms deal, helping hands, and mindfulness. I hope you guys learned something today. If you did learn something from this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it so much. This is really cool mechanic, and it works really well with the driver. It's free damage. Don't think of using conflux as applying status effects to enemies. Think of it as when you use your action skill, you're now getting at least 180% more damage when you shoot, which is really, really nice. I've tried putting less points into Conflux. I took it down to 1 point, took it to 2 points. It's a low chance to proc their action skill, and it wouldn't be worth it unless we were fake grasping, because when we're fake grasping, we can proc all of the elements, which is really nice. But if you were using this without fake grasping, your chances of proccing it on yourself wouldn't be great, and I probably wouldn't use Conflux. Before we end the video, I am going to play a little clip of some gameplay using this new build so you guys can see what it looks like for yourself, to see if you want to make this change or not. Other than that, man, I hope you guys are having a great time. Happy weekend, and peace out, guys.